Okay, so currently we're in third place with 65 points, 6 points behind first. And we are going to be versing Bolton in the FA Cup semifinals. And we did miss out on the Carabao Cup in the last episode to Man City. And currently we are in the quarterfinals versus Roma in the Europa League. And the first game against them is going to end in a 2-2 draw here, with Šeško getting 2 goals. So that's good by us. And our next game here is against Newcastle, where we can hopefully close the gap to first place. And they are going to start off with the ball here as they get this over to Murphy. And that's going to be a foul by Udogie there, as they do get this through to Vlahovic. And we are going to miss the tackle there as Murphy takes a shot, but that's going to go just wide of the goal there, as Hjulmand gets this over to Pedro Porro. And we're just going to run this down the wing here and try and cross it in. Cross it over to Šeško, but that's going to be headed out by the defender. As we keep the ball here, gets us over to Menu. We're going to try and find a pass here. Get that over to Mbeumo. We're just going to pass it back to Šeško here, who heads that ball into the defender there for a corner as we cross this in. But that's going to go out by the keeper, as Mbeumo is going to get this over to Fernandez if we can, but we're just going to cross this over now. Hjulmand with the header, and that's a great goal by Hjulmand here in the 16th minute, and a great cross by Mbeumo there to get the first goal of the game, as Tonali gets this over to Hall here. And Pedro Porro with a great interception there, but just couldn't get the ball as Vlahovic tackles him off it. And now Bastoni couldn't make the tackle there as Vlahovic takes the shot, but that's a great save by Lunin there, as Gordon intercepts that. Now they're on the attack here as Gordon gets over to Tonali here. And they're going to pass it through to Hall, so we just need to block their passing options. We missed that tackle, but that's going to be a shot by Gordon as it's going to go wide. And they're going to cross over to Gordon here. And De Ligt with a foul there. It was not a good tackle by him. Tonali now has the ball here. Gets it over to Vlahovic. Gets past De Ligt here, but De Ligt managed to make the tackle. As Menu gets over to Cunha. We need to try and get this to Šeško if we can. Now we're just going to run this down the wing here. Passes over to Fernandez. Tried to cross it to Mbeumo, but that's going to go out for a corner. As now Livramento has it. Gets it to Vlahovic here. And that's going to be not a good tackle by De Ligt there, as Udogie does make a tackle there, but it's going to go to De Ligt here, who tackles that out, as Hjulmand has it. And we're just going to pass this back here if we can over to Cunha, through to Udogie, or Menu takes a shot, but that's going to be blocked by Schär. So we cross this in. Šeško with the header, and that's another goal for us here in the 70th minute, as Šeško scores a great header there. But now Vlahovic has the ball here. Probably going to take a shot, but De Ligt with a great block, as that is going to go out here. Now Barnes crosses into Tonali. Wilson with the ball. Takes a shot, but Lunin with a great save there. As we do get this over to Udogie. Tried to get that to Cunha, but that's going to be a bad pass there as it goes out. And now they're on the attack here. Wilson has the ball. Crosses over to Barnes, but Lunin with a great punch there, even though it was offside. So we do get this to Mbeumo here. Tried to cross it over, but it's going to go to Pope here, as this game is going to end with us getting a 2-0 win, with Hjulmand and Šeško both scoring. And our next game here is going to be against Roma in the Europa League. Now we are going to... Fernandez does have it, so we're going to pass this over to Udogie here. We're trying to get the to Cunha. I should take this to Mbeumo, but that's going to be tackled off the ball there, as El Shaarawy has it. Gets this to Manu Kone, who does keep the ball here. Dovbyk has it, takes a shot, but that's a great save by Lunin. Porro gets this over to Menu, over to Udogie, through to Cunha. We're trying to get this over to Šeško, takes a shot, but that's going to be saved by the keeper, as we do cross this in. And that could have been 1-0 here, but it just goes slightly over Shesko. As De Ligt with a great tackle there. Gets to Bastoni. El Shaarawy gets it over to Shmurov, who gets it to Paredes. Over to Dovbyk, and that is going to be a foul there. Now they have the ball here. Dovbyk gets it. Now they're running on the wing here, and Bastoni needs to make a tackle here. And that's a great interception by Bastoni there, as they are on another attack here. Udogie misses the tackle there, but Bastoni with a great tackle. Now they're running down here with the ball. Gets this over to Nelson, who gets this to Dovbyk here. And now Dovbyk just keeps the ball as Salemakers has it. Crosses that over, but we don't make the clearance as they get the header over the goal. And now they're going to probably cross this in if they can. But they get this to Paredes, who gets it to Sule. That's going to go just wide of the goal there. As Fernandez gets this over to Menu. And we're going to get this to Cunha here. This could be a chance for 1-0, but that's going to be saved by the keeper there. As Shesko gets it, but he is offside there. Now we are going to make some subs here. We're going to sub off De Ligt here for Yoro, as De Ligt is pretty tired. Now we get this over to Mbeumo here. Over to Shesko. Back to Menu. Takes a shot, but that's going to go just wide of the goal there. As Bastoni gets to Menu. Get this through to Bruno Fernandes. We're going to cross it over to Mbeumo here. Okay, we get a goal here if we can. We're going to try and cross it over to Cunha. Takes a shot, but that's going to go just wide of the goal there, as that was not that good of a volley. But now Sule has it. Gets this over to, or just going to take the shot instead, but Yoro with a great block there, as Angelino takes the shot, but Luna with a great save. And Kone is going to get the rebound there, as they scored to make it 1-0 here in the 98th minute. Now we get this over to Hjulmid. Over to Mbeumo here. Through to Shesko. We're going to try and get that to Cunha. But that's going to be blocked by the defender there. Now Trippier has it. Gets this over to Dovbyk. Can't make the tackle there with Bastoni there, as Salemakers has it. Gets this over to Dovbyk. Goes to take this Manu Kone, but Luna with a great save there. As now we're going to make some subs here, taking off Mbeumo for Ahmad, as well as Dello for Menu, and then Nazraoui for Udogie. And I think that'll be it for now. Now they start off with the ball here, and we just need to get a goal to send this to penalties. As they get this Poro with a great tackle though. As now Diallo has it, tries to get that to Poro, but that's going to be a bad pass there. Manu Kone with the ball. Gets that to Angelino. Poro just can't make the tackle there. Get this over to Angelino again here. Gets to Sule, takes a shot, and that's going to be 2-0 here, as they score in the 112th minute to potentially seal the win here. And they are on another attack here, but Bastoni with a good tackle. Gets this over to Dallo. We're just going to run down the wing here. Gets this down the wing more. We can cross this over to Amad Diallo. Tries to pass it, but that's going to go to the defender there. As this game is going to end here with us losing 2-0, with both goals coming in extra time here. Had we just scored in that second half, we could have sent it to penalties. But our next game is against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. As then Mbeumo has the ball here. Gets this over to Shesko. And now Cucurella has it. Gets this to Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo with the ball here. Gets this over to Palmer. Through to Madueke here. And Udogie, I think, fouls him there. Now we just need to block the pass here, as Palmer takes a shot, but that's going to go wide of the goal there. Now Palmer has it. Gets to Gusto here. Back to Palmer. As Bastoni needs to make a good tackle there, and he does. We get this back to Bastoni. Over to Menu. Over to Hjulmid here, and we're just going to try and run this up here. We just need to keep possession if we can, not really lose it. That's a great pass to Poro here. We are going to cross this over to Cunha. Heads the ball, but that's going to be saved by Onana. Now Fernandez gets through to Poro. We're just going to pass it back to Gilmed here. Takes a shot, but that's going to be blocked by Enzo Fernandez. As now Caicedo gets it. Over to Jackson, but Bastoni with a great interception there. Now Gilmed has it. Loses the ball to Enzo here as Palmer, but Poro with a great interception there. Tried to get that to their winger. So he passes over to Gilmed. Back over to Cunha here. Now we just need to try and find a way through their defense as we get this over to Udogie. And we're going to try and pass this to Cunha. Takes a shot, but that's going to be blocked by Onana there. And now Mbeumo has it. We're just going to go back to the middle of the field here. Pass this over to Poro. Gets over to Gilmed here. Takes a shot. And that's a great save by Onana there. As now Gusto has it. Gets this over to Palmer. Takes a shot, but Luna with a great save there. As Jackson takes a shot, but Gilmed with a great block. Now they are going to get this through to Palmer here, who is going to probably take a shot, but Bastoni with a great tackle there. As they get this back to Palmer. I wish you not let them get any shots off. As Nkunku has it. Enzo Fernandez with the ball now. But Bastoni just can't make the tackle as they get this over to Jackson. But Poro with a great interception there. As Gilmed gets over to Mbeumo if we can. Just waiting for him to pass the defense, but he didn't. And we're just going to take the shot here. And that's going to go wide of the goal there. As now Palmer is going to cross this over, but Bastoni has the ball. And just hits that straight into Jackson. That could have went bad there. As Mbeumo gets this over to Gilmed. Fernandez through to Mainu here. And we're going to get this through to Cunha. Now we're just going to run down the wing here. Get this over to Fernandez. Gets to Mbeumo. Takes a shot, but that's going to be blocked by Tosin there. As we cross this in. Šeško with the header. And that's a great goal by Šeško here as he scores what could be the winner in the 86th minute here. And now Nkunku has the ball. Probably going to cross this over if he can. Crosses it, but Udogie clears that out. Get this over to Cunha here. And this game is going to end with a 1-0 win, as we do manage to win our second trophy of the season here with Manchester United. So that is a good trophy. But now we are facing Chelsea here in the Premier League, which we are pretty close to first place here, so a win could potentially see us winning Premier League if we do win our next games. But now Gilmed gets this over to Šeško. Gets that to Mbeumo here, and we did make some substitutions here, as Yoro does take over De Ligt's spot here. Now we get this over to Gilmed. Gets this through to Mbeumo again here. And we're going to try and cross this over if we can, but we just get that back to Gilmed. Over to Mainu here. Now we're just going to take the shot here with Mainu, but that's going to be blocked by Tosin. As we do miss the header there as they head this over to Gilmed. Now we are going to get that over to Cunha. Cuts it back here, takes a shot. And that's a great goal by Cunha here as he pulls the ball back to feint the defender and scores the first goal of the game here. As now Dybala has the ball. Misses the tackle here as they get over to Madueke. Back to Dybala here. Udogie just can't make the tackle there as Jackson gets past Bastoni. Takes a shot, but Bastoni manages to block it. As Dybala has it now. Probably going to pass it through to Jackson here. Now Yoro with a tackle there. That's a great tackle by Eleni Yoro. As they get this through to Afif, who gets that to Dybala here. Takes a shot, but Bastoni with a great block there. Now they're on the attack here again, still. Probably going to cut this back here. So we do miss the tackle, but Gilmed wins his second tackle. Gets over to Fernandez. And we're trying to get that through to Cunha here. But that's going to go over the defenders, and it's going to go out. But now Fernandez gets us through to Cunha, but that's going to be misplaced pass there as Madueke has it. Gets us to Madueke. Dybala with the ball now. Probably gonna cross it in, but gets this over to Bastoni. Over to heel mid, back to Fernandez. Now we're gonna try and get this to Cunha here. It's a great pass by Bruno Fernandes there, but Cunha just runs it out. Cunha gets this over to Šeško. Get over to Madueke here. Reece James with the ball. Gets to Caicedo. Over to Nicholas Jackson, who is through on goal here. Bastoni needs to make a good block here. Or actually, that's Yoro. As they do score to equalize the game here in the 60th minute. Now Mbeumo has the ball here. Running on the wing here. Fernandez with it. Gets this over to heel mid. Back to Dalot here. Crosses over to Cunha. Cunha with the header, and that's a great goal by Cunha. And a great cross by Diogo Dalot here. As now Jackson has the ball. Gets this through to Madueke. It's going to be a good block by Dogi. Or not, just managed to get past him, so it wasn't a good block there. They do cross this over, but Lunin collects the ball there. As Lavia has it. Gets it to Cucurella. Dybala with the ball here. Crosses over top our defense. But Dalot does manage to win it. So we do get that through there. But that's going to go just out of the bounds here. As we do manage to win 2-1 here. With Cunha getting both of the goals for us. As our next game here is against Aston Villa. As we do kick off the game here. We're going to get this over to Hjulmid here. Try and get the to Mbeumo here. That's a good pass there. As Mbeumo takes a shot, but that's going to be blocked by the defender here. As they get this to Onana. Bailey with the ball. Now Rodgers has it. Gets this to Ollie Watkins, who is through on goal here. But De Ligt with a great tackle there. So we get this over, or they get this over to Rodgers, who gets past De Ligt there. Watkins through on goal, but Luna with a great save there. As Digny crosses it in, and that's going to be a great block by De Ligt there on the goal line. And as Pedro Porro has it, gets tackled off the ball there. It's not a foul, but now Rodgers gets this through to Watkins here, takes a shot, and that's going to be a goal here to make it 1-0 in the 20th minute as Aston Villa go up 1-0. Now Onana has the ball here, crosses it over to Oyarzabal, but Pedro Porro makes the interception there, gets to Mbeumo. We should use our pace to get past him there, but we get this over to Fernandez. Through to Šeško here, but gets tackled off the ball there. As now they get this over to Camara, who gets that to Rodgers. Now Main with a great tackle there, as they get this over to Fernandez, over to Hjulmid here. And that's a great tackle by Onana, but it is going to be a foul there. So, gets a yellow card, I think. As Fernandez takes this to Hjulmid here. Takes a shot, but that's going to be a great save by Martinez there. So he crosses over to Šeško, but Martinez makes the save here. Now he's probably crosses it out, but that's going to be a handball there by this defender as he hits it straight into his hand. And we're going to aim this more towards the right of his head. 3 bars of power. And that's a great free kick by Bruno Fernandes there, as he scores to make it 1-1 just before halftime here. But now Cunha has the ball here. And we are going to get this over to Menu here. Just loses out the tackle there. As Rodgers gets it. Gets this over to Onana. Great tackle by Fernandez there. As we get this over to Hjulmid. Through to Mbeumo. We're going to cross it over to Šeško. And that's a great header by Benjamin Šeško here to score. To make it 2-1 here in the 54th minute. As Watkins gets this over to Rodgers. Gets past the defenders there. Takes a shot, but Luna with a great save. So we pass that straight into Watkins with De Ligt. And that is going to be 2-2 here in the 60th minute. As Mbeumo gets the ball. And we just need to make a good tackle here as we run. As we get this over to Šeško. Takes a shot, but that's going to be saved by Martinez. But now Fernandez has it. We're going to wait for Mbeumo to run past the defender, but we do pass it to Šeško here. Over to Fernandez. Gets this to Cunha. Takes a shot, And that's a great goal by Cunha as he scores into the top corner there in the 80th minute to make it 3-2 here. And we should not let them get the ball here. But Watkins gets this over to Rogers. Through to Watkins again. Takes a shot, but Luna with a great save here. As we get this to Fernandez. Over to Cunha, who loses the ball there. But Hillman with a great tackle there. Wait for Mbeumo to make his run. As we do get past the defenders here. But Mbeumo just gets taken out in the box there. And that's going to be a penalty here in the 90th minute to potentially secure the win here. And we are going to go to the bottom left here. And that's a great penalty by Bruno Fernandes as he scores to secure the win here. And Martinez did guess the right direction, but went to the top instead of the bottom. As this game is going to end 4-2, with Šeško, Cunha, and Fernandes getting goals. As the season ends with us in second place, with 82 points, 3 points behind Liverpool. We did win the Community Shield, as well as the FA Cup. But we did lose out on the Carabao Cup, losing 5-4 on penalties to Manchester City, as well as the Europa League, losing in the quarterfinals 4-2 on aggregate versus Roma, as Fenerbahce did beat them in the final. And our highest goal scorer was Šeško with 41 goals and 21 assists, followed by Cunha with 30 goals and 10 assists. Then Mbeumo here with 27 goals and 11 assists, followed by Fernandes, who did pretty good with 24 goals and 23 assists. But I'll see you guys in the next episode, so bye.